Why would Trump sign this executive order right here, which requires Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth to determine how the military can be used in domestic law enforcement? And here's the answer.
And now the director of the Port of Los Angeles says, as you're about to hear, the shipments from China have stopped.
The stark forecast for the nation's busiest port.
In 2 weeks' time, arrivals will drop by 35%, as essentially all shipments out of China for major retailers and manufacturers has ceased, and cargo coming out of Southeast Asia locations is much softer than normal, with the tariffs now in place.
You see what's going on right now? These tariffs are scaring people.
For now, a 145% tariff on China will have an impact.
That simply means that if you're buying a product from China, it costs 2.5 times more than it did last month.
The twin ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, the nation's second busiest, are the drivers of the Southern California economy. This week, the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation predicting the trickle-down effects of the tariffs that now threaten $500 billion in revenue for our region and put 2 million workers at risk.
Just think of how chaotic things in this country are going to get when everybody starts losing their jobs.
CEO of the Trucking Association says truck drivers will be among those impacted.
There's just, unfortunately, outside pressures that is going to cause folks to probably lose their jobs.
Wow, you see what's going on now? When people start losing their jobs, the crime rate inevitably is going to start going up. And guess what? That's when the military needs to come in and keep everyone under control. In other words, things are about to get real serious out here. If you do not like the direction this country is going in, this is a clarion call that you immediately begin contacting officials in Washington, D.C., your elected officials, and letting them know they need to rein in Donald Trump's presidential authority ASAP. Do not allow the spin to win.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Quadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And a lot of you Americans, you Babylonians, you have been full of great pleasures, very a great abundance of a covetous spirit, worry free, carry free, careless. Now Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is literally bringing low the lofty and proud in spirit. Okay, and he's using this devil, okay, this government, okay, the way this man structures society and the way he operates, he's using it against you, because you all put your trust here in Babylon the Great and Pharaoh. Okay, so it's going to be destruction upon the elites. Some are going to be preserved to be the first fruits of bondage of slavery, Salakia. But before this kingdom completely falls, it's going to be a grievous, hellish condition. It's going to be a lot of affliction, a lot of suffering. Okay, because this devil, again, he's on overdrive. He's working overtime to attempt to complete his agenda to bring forth his new world order. Okay? So what you're seeing right now is the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of woes, judgments, destructions. Okay? The beginning of pestilence, the beginning of famine. Okay? And also, as it was stated, is a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because they want you to conform and submit to a universal basic income. They want you to depend on them as your God. They want you to submit to them in every single way. They want to have complete control over you. Okay? Point blank period. So this devil is going to come by any means necessary. He's not going to show no compassion, no sympathy, no mercy whatsoever. Okay, and as the guy stated, and as we know, those storehouses are going to be empty pretty soon. Those shelves in Walmart, Giant, okay, Target, etc. Those shelves are going to be empty in the very, very near future. And I say, just speaking as a man, through the spirit, I give it a month, but that might be too long because you're going to have people panicking. People are already panicking right now. Okay, because again, they put their trust in Babylon. They put their trust in Egypt. And as it states in, I believe, Isaiah 30 or 31, okay, this place shall be a downfall, especially to you Israelites. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. So all those lavish stores, all those lavish restaurants, all those lavish grocery stores, Amazon, whatever it's called, the Amazon store, Harris Teeter's, what else? Publix, Wegmans, all these stores that carry, so-called natural organic supplies, all that stuff is going to be decreasing because, again, people are going to be panicking and buying as much as they can. Okay? 2nd Esdras 6, verse 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Because it's going to be way worse than how the epidemic, the planned epidemic, I must say, happened in 2020. Okay, toilet paper is not going to be the only thing that's going to be sold out. You're going to have your produce, your meat. Okay, you're going to have soap, shampoo. Okay, all the tampons, all the actual necessities that you need, that value you in life to get by, not your pleasures, the actual necessities. So, again, the produce, the vegetables, the fruit, the meat, what do they call that? The bath supplies. Health supplies, all that stuff is going to suddenly appear empty. Those shelves are literally going to decrease, okay? Because again, everybody has been asleep because you people believe lies. Y'all trust in perverseness, man, as it says in Isaiah 30, verse 12, man. Y'all trust in oppression. Y'all trust in the way that this man has structured society, man. What this devil gives you the same lies, and y'all keep on, believing the same nonsense, man, the same BS. Okay, because the children of light, which I'm about to read now, are the Israelites, and furthermore, Abanawarat Tazah are the elect, which we hope and pray to be, because those are the only ones that's going to actually know truly what is going on. Those are the only ones that have the blueprint, that know the end game, that know the prophecies, that's able to pinpoint and line up things and measure the times. Those are the ones that's going to be diligent, be sober, be vigilant, okay? And those are the ones that's crying out for all the abominations thereof. Those are the ones that are vexed, that are completely suffering in this hellish nightmare that we live every single day. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not the children of night nor of darkness, because everybody here, not only in Babylon the Great, But across the four corners of the earth, they walk in darkness because, again, they believe in their higher power. They believe in the structure of the government. They believe in their officials, I should say. And also, too, these government officials and these government workers, in front of the camera, it's all conflict. It's all, we're going at them, they're going at us. It's all, dramatization. Salaki, I'm excited. It's like a drama, like The Young and the Restless, a drama flick. But at the end, but actually behind closed doors, and when the cameras are not rolling, they're in agreement. They're laughing. They're mocking. They're doing all these things and bringing these things forth because they have an agenda to accomplish. Okay, they want you people to suffer. They want people to be executed, deleted. To go through all types of sufferings, so you can bow the knee and submit and look at them as your God. So you can look forward towards the government, the elites, for everything to be resolved in your life. Okay? Because all y'all walk in darkness. Verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep. Okay? Because a lot of these people are asleep. Okay, and the prophets have been telling everybody the truth. And look, everything is unfolding that the prophets have been stating from the beginning. Okay? Everything is unfolding. Okay? And it's not going to be turned back. Babylon is not going to be healed. Okay? Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And again, also too, just because you have other Israelites that are awoke to the truth, a lot of these Israelites are still asleep, because a lot of these Israelites are involved in the philosophies, the rudiments, the customs, the traits of the world, and not just involved in the truth and really dedicated and really sincere and have humility. A lot of these Israelites are bringing in damnable heresies and using this truth as a profitable gain to have a more comfortable life. A lot of these Israelites are not sincere. A lot of these Israelites are not pure in mind, nor in spirit. Okay? And it's also too set up by Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai. Okay, verse 7. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 7. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. And what are they drunken off of? The promises, the philosophies, the wine of Babylon, everything that comes with it. Okay, because there's always some type of distraction in front of you while they're behind the scenes signing off executive orders, bringing forth their plans, doing everything. And also too, it's getting to the point where they're not even bringing so many distractions, where they're just literally doing everything in front of your face and literally telling you that you're not going to do nothing about it. Okay, because they want to rile you people up. They want to bring in martial law. They want to have those seditions, those insurrections occur. Again, it's also about population, so like a depopulation. Okay, they want the numbers to decrease. Okay, all these things they have to accomplish to bring forth the main agenda. Just like these tariffs, the tariff is one of the main reasons why these tariffs is going on, to crash the dollar. Okay, that the American currency has to be crashed to bring forth the digital currency. Okay, they're going to bring forth that digital currency, and then something's going to happen with that, and they're going to come up with the MARK, which is a CHIP, and they're going to twist and turn and pull your heartstrings to make you believe this is for your benefit. Okay? But let's continue. Let's go to Isaiah 19. And I wanted to show this whole video, in its entirety. Matter of fact, I'll let it play again real quick.
Why would Trump sign this executive
grab
order
some more scriptures
right here, which requires Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth to determine how the military can be used in domestic law enforcement? And here's the answer.
And now the director of the Port of Los Angeles says, as you're about to hear, the shipments from China have stopped.
The stark forecast for the nation's busiest port.
In 2 weeks' time, arrivals will drop by 35%, as essentially all shipments out of China for major retailers and manufacturers has ceased, and cargo coming out of Southeast Asia locations is much softer than normal, with the tariffs now in place.
You see what's going on right now? These tariffs are scaring people.
For now, a 145% tariff on China will have an impact.
That simply means that if you're buying a product from China, it costs 2.5 times more than it did last month.
The twin ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, the nation's second busiest, are the drivers of the Southern California economy. This week, the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation predicting the trickle-down effects of the tariffs that now threaten $500 billion in revenue for our region and put 2 million workers at risk.
And that's the point that I want to get for this next precept, and that's what we're going to go to right now. Isaiah chapter 19, and I'm going to start off at verse 14. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, and everything that is being done is not being calculated. It's not being thought through with logic. It's not being examined, because everything that's being done is sloppy. It's sloppy. Okay, this man has been exposed for who he is. This man has literally been shown that wisdom that's in Teman is being taken and stripped away from him, man. Okay, and we see that what was done here in Babylon, and what they promoted, and what they invested their money in, and what they took the time to acknowledge, was not preparing for war, was not strengthening the military, was not putting money in the defense of the war tactics, the ICBM missiles, etc. They put money in what? Women's liberation. They put money in all types of faggot HOMO shit. Okay? All types of pleasures, all types of lusts, all types of things that have a proud, rebellious spirit towards you. Okay? As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Okay? Here's the point right here, verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So they want these jobs to be decreased. They want these companies to lay off 20, 15, 30, 40,000 people. Okay, they have an agenda that also, too, they want to apply robotics to do certain things and leave a certain small number, man. Okay? This man is the devil. Verse 16, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, because again, as we know and as we see in movies, the so-called self-proclaimed white man cannot handle pressure. He cannot handle when he loses everything. When this man loses everything, he flips the hell out. He doesn't know what to do. And what does he do? He slays everybody, goes home and slays his wife, his kids, and he takes himself out, man. Okay? And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which she shaketh over it. And that's the judgment. That's, the prophet speaking and declaring these things, and the Lord bringing those things forth. Okay? So let's continue, because I got more on what I said earlier. Let's grab a precept, which, this precept is going into the elites, but it can also be applied to you proud-ass Babylonians. Okay? So this is St. James chapter 5, verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on earth and been wanton. And this describes the spirit. Again, this is first talking about the elites, the bankers, etc., the 1%. But you can also apply this to these proud-ass Americans, these proud-ass Edomite Americans. They're the most proudest devils on the planet. Okay? You Americans have lived in pleasure. Again, carry and worry free. You know, I'm so proud to be American. You know, all that nonsense, man. You think you'll never, you're delicate, you're a virgin. You'll never go through any affliction. You'll never go through any loss of children. You'll never go through hardship. You know, you believe you're going to prevail and rule as the nation that's going to dominate all nations upon the planet. That's that pride and that pleasure that you have here to, have all these liberties and privileges and things that you gain, and now that's being stripped away from you. That's the only reason why you Edomites are riled up and losing your damn minds, is because your privileges is literally being taken away from you, and you're being put in the same position as the Israelites. That's the only reason why everybody's having a hissy fit and crying out. Period. Okay? But we've been going through it for over 500 years. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter, because in your mind, again, you believe that everything is going to be okay. There's going to be some type of restoration, some type of plan to bring America back to its stronghold, to bring America back to be even more greater, etc. Y'all believe this, but literally you're preparing yourself to be brought low. You're preparing yourself to be destroyed. You're preparing yourself to be being told about that latter end that you did not consider. Okay, because you devils always say it was manifest destiny for us to do this, manifest destiny for us to do that, and which it is, it's correct, but it's also manifest destiny for your latter end to be brought forth by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with his judgments. Okay, so let's close out, because again, it's about to be a grievous, hellish, merciless condition. People about to lose their damn minds, and it's only going to be amplified. It's only going to increase. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'm going to start off at verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So, you're going to have people going against the military, going against the government. It's going to be all-out division. You destroy a kingdom from the inside. You divide that house. As Yahweh Shai stated in St. Mark chapter 3, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because again, you have these turfs. You have things not coming in on the ports. You have the shelves they're about to be fully empty. And you're going to have people that are going to know who's been preserving, who's been doing this, who's been doing that. Everybody's going to be watching everybody to see what they bring in their houses. So again, you're going to have the neighbors that's not going to show pity. You're going to have neighbors that's going to attempt to invade your home and to spoil you and your goods. Okay, might take your wife, might take your kids, all that, man. Okay, and then they're not going to regard the government. They're not going to take heed to the slave patrol, aka the police, because at that point you're going to have the slave patrol, aka the police, that's going to have to defend their own homes. Okay, it's going to be, as Elder Malcolm always states and says, it's going to be, like Proud Boys and everybody else is going to be deputized. True patriots. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because again, you're going to have those stop points, those checkpoints. They're going to try to, with martial law, because that's they want these things to happen, so these things can be implied and enforced. Why do you think Trump is giving the law enforcement immunity? Why do you think all these executive orders have been signed? Okay, that's for a reason. And at the end of the day, these devils don't even need to do that shit. They're just doing this to justify their actions that they're going to bring forth. Okay, because they're literally bringing forth and stirring up the strife and bringing forth the mayhem. Okay, verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. Again, you Americans are prideful. We say it every day. You're very prideful. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid, because it's going to be a time like never has been before. Again, there's going to be no mercy, no sympathy, no compassion, no regard for nobody else. You're really going to see the definition of selfish. Okay, verse 19. A man shall have no pity, okay, merciless, upon his neighbor. Okay, hey, how you doing, Chuck? Hey, how's it going, Bob? There won't be no more of that shit. Okay, Chuck might hit your ass upside the head and drag you in the house and chop you up and, have pot roast. Okay, because that's coming back too. Cannibalism is coming back too. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Okay, they're going to be invading your house, whether it be with a machete, with an actual sword, or with the modern day sword, which is a gun, or with anything that can take you out. But shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because again, it's part of the agenda. They want society to feud and fight and do all these things, man. And then Esau is going to come in with the resolution. So like the resolution. Okay? But they want this. They want the bloodshed. They want the drama. They want, the sedition, the insurrection. They want all this, man. Okay, and the prophets have been warning you, but you people, now that you see certain things happening, you're getting worried. Okay, but hey, man, it is what it is. So, I don't want Ratazah. I hope and I pray that this was edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true sincere Aki and Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Kol Holayim La, Abanawa Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim, Rakak Kwadash, Wathawada Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakak Kwadash, for putting the spirit on me, my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders, brothers on down, for doing these epistles to enlighten you, to inform you, to edify you, and uplift you through the power and spirit and words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. May the blessing and election and protection be upon you and your household. I don't want Ratazah into the next one. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.